पुरुष सूक्त की व्याख्या आपको सुना रही हूँ। और पिछले सप्ताह ये बताया था कि वह जो पुरुष है जिसकी चर्चा हो रही है इस पुरुष सूक्त में, ये व्यष्टि पुरुष भी है, राष्ट्र पुरुष भी है, विराट पुरुष भी है और महाविराट भी। एंड इन द फर्स्ट mantra, the Rishi is explaining the Rashtra Purusha. And Sahasra Hirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad, this is for the Rashtra Purusha. And Sabhumigvam Sarvata Spritva Atyatishta Dashangulam. Who is this Rashtra Purusha? Who is this Purusha? He is residing Atyatishta Dashangulam. So Dashangulam, last time I told you that here Angula doesn't mean the finger measurement, because in Hindi, in India we have that Angul is a measurement of a finger, right? So like Dashangul, 10 fingers. But here, angul doesn't mean the measurement of the finger. Here, angul means, because angul is also mentioned for the indriya, the senses. So, and how many senses? There are 10 senses. So, Atyatishta Dashangulam means that that Purusha is first pervading in this whole creation, Sabhumigvam Sarvata Spritva, and then he is beyond our senses. Means you cannot know about this Purusha, you cannot realize this Purusha with your senses. It's beyond the senses, I told you last time. So, Atyatishta Dashangulama. And so, who is that Atyatishta Dashangulama? That is that Mahavirat, Purushottama. And that Purushottama, in the next verse, Purusha evedagvam sarvam yad bhutam yaccha bhavyam. In this verse, what is said about the Purusha? That Purusha evedagvam. Everything what is here, Evedagam, is that Purusha. Means whatever is here now, that is the present, is the Purusha. Purusha Evedagam Sarvam. And Yaccha Bhutam. Bhutam means whatever was in the past. And Yaccha Bhavyam. Bhavyam means what there will be in the future. So in other words, whatever has been, whatever is present now, and whatever will be coming, all that is that one Purusha. Everything is that Purusha. This Purusha, and who is this Purusha? When we talk about that everything, whether it is the past, the present, or the future, is that Purusha, which form of that Purusha is here? I have told you before, because all the different Purusha, whether the Vyashti Purusha, the Rashtra Purusha, the Virat Purusha, and even that Mahavirata, the Purushottama, you will find throughout the Purushottam here and there. Okay. So first was the Rashtra Purusha, Atyatishta Dashangulama is the Mahapurusha, the Purushottama, and Purusha evedagam sarvam yad bhutam yaccha bhavyam. This is about the Virat Purusha. Everything what you are seeing. How can you understand this? That one Purushottama coming into these many forms. when you talk about that Purushottama, we also call that Purushottama Parabrahma Paramatma, okay? Parabrahma. And that Brahma manifested as the Virat. So what is that Virat? The Parabrahma is pervading everywhere in this whole creation, and Atyatishta Dashangulama is also above this whole creation. That is the Parabrahma. Now when you look at this creation, in this infinite creation, there are so many universes, right? So each of the universes, we call them Brahmanda. Each of the Brahmanda has their own Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. And each of this Brahmanda, the Lord, the Swami of that Brahmanda that is we call the Virat. Okay? So that's the Virat. So there are so many Brahmandas. So that's why there are so many Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. And the Virat form is also in so many. But when we talk about the Rashtra Purusha, so Rashtra Purusha, that is, I told you before, that is this whole earth. When we talk about this earth, Samudra Paryanta, Samudra Ekrat, this whole earth is like one whole country, you can say. So that comes to the Rat. So that same Purusha, becoming Virat and then becoming Rat. And in our own self, the Atma, that is the Vyashti Purusha. This, this Virat Purusha, this Mahapurusha, which is called the Purushottama, whether we say Purushottama or Mahavirat, and when we talk about Adhyatmik, Adidevik, Adibhautik, I have told before, because this Adhyatmik, that is about the Vyashti Purusha, Adibhautik is the Rashtra Purusha, Adidevik is the Virat Purusha, and then one more we call the Adi Purusha, that is that Supreme Brahman. The same thing I told you last week about the stages we go through our lives. We have the awake state, which is called the Vishwa. We have the dream state, which is called the Tejas, it's a Swapna. And we have the deep sleep, which is called the Sushupti. And beyond these three stages we all go through, right? Everyone has a awake state, dream state, and a deep sleep state. And the fourth one, that is the level of the Samadhi. That is called Turiya. So that Turiya, so when we can also compare these with the Adhyatmik or the Vyashti Purusha, that is the awake. And when we talk about the Tejas, that is the Adibhautik, that is, and the Rashtra, that is thing. And when we say, when we talk about the Sushupti, that is the Virat, it's the thing. Virat, Sushupti, that is thing. And then Brahma, Turiya, Adi Purusha. Now, in our life, we are experiencing this Purusha in all these different manifestations. So you have heard about this word Atma. So when you think about Atma, you think about the real self, that Atma. But this word Atma, because in Sanskrit, one word can have so many meanings. So this word Atma doesn't only mean the Atma, the real self. You will find this also in the Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan is using the word Atma to denote the different meanings of that Atma. Because that Paramatma has these manifestations in our life we are experiencing as when we come totally down, the Bhut Atma. So what is the Bhut Atma? The Bhut Atma, that is called the body. So our body, even the body is called Atma. And in Bhagavad Gita you will find, sometimes Bhagavan has mentioned the body with this word Atma. So that is called Bhut Atma. And then another Atma we have, which is called Pragyan Atma. So what is it, Pragyan Atma? That is the man, your mind. And the next Atma is called Vigyan Atma. So what is the Vigyan Atma? That is for Buddhi, your intellect. That is also called Atma. And then you have, next to that, above the Buddhi, what do you have there? That is then, Atma comes there. That Atma is called Prashant Atma. Your real self, Prashant Atma. And beyond all these Atmas, from where all these Atmas are coming, from which they are manifested, that is the Paramatma. So you have Paramatma, Prashant Atma, Vigyan Atma, Pragyan Atma, and Bhut Atma. When you see this one shlok in the Bhagavad Gita, the 6th chapter, Udharet Atmanatmanam Na Atmanam Avasadhayet Atmaiva Hyatmano Bandhur Atmaiva Ripur Atmanah. In this one shloka, Bhagavan is using this word Atma so many times. Udharet Atmanam. So this first Atma, Udharet Atmanam Atmanam. So this Udharet Atma means that this Atma means the Buddhi, the Vigyan Atma. But Bhagavan is saying Udharet Atmanam Atmaiva, that you have Atmanam, the second Atma is your real self. So Bhagavan is saying that you have to elevate this, your consciousness, through the help of your Buddhi. Because the Buddhi is the only who will help you to do that. Okay, so Udharet Atmanat Atmanam. And in the next line of this shloka, the Atmaiva Hyatmano Bandhur and Atmaiva Ripur Atmanah, here Atma means the mind. Bhagavan is saying your mind only is your friend, Bandhu, and your Atma only is your Ripu, enemy. There is no enemy and friends out here. Your mind becomes your enemy, your mind becomes your friend. So you see, in this one shloka, Bhagavan has used this Atma in 3 meanings of the Atma. This is the beauty of Sanskrit. In Sanskrit, you have one word, many words, meanings. So that Paramatma, here what Purush Suktam is saying, Purusha e Veda Gvam Sarvam, Yad Bhutam Yatcha Bhavyam. So that Paramatma, Parabrahm Paramatma, in the form manifested in Virat Swarup, is the only Purusha, is the only one, that Purusha who is existing, Purush e Veda Gvam, in this moment, Yatcha Bhutam, in the past, whatever has been there was only that Purusha, and Yatcha Bhavyam, whatever will be coming, will be nothing else than that Purusha. Everything is that Purusha. And everything means everything. Even in this first shloka, when in this first mantra, Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapad, it is not, when you hear Purusha, it's not about the men, because Purusha word also used for the male, right? For a man. But Purusha here doesn't mean only men. It means everyone, everything is this Purusha, means whether it's man, female, and not only human beings, but whatever types of lives you will find in this whole creation, whether animals, birds, reptiles, insects, vegetation, that all these sentient beings, but even all the insentient beings, everything out here in this whole creation, whether you take a rock or anything else, is and was and will be nothing but that Purusha. So this is what this mantra here, this first line is saying. Purusha e Veda Gvam Sarvam Yad Bhutam Yatcha Bhavyam. And how is this Purusha? Because, you know, this whole creation is also, this earth is also called the Martyalok, the Mrityulok, right? So what is this Mrityu? And many scholars have been, they call this Jagat Mithya. Jagat Mithya means that this whole, you know, this whole creation, whatever you see, this whole world is false. It's not real. It's not true. That is Jagat Mithya. But that is not what our Vedic philosophy is saying. Our Vedic philosophy is saying, Purusha evedagam sarvam yad bhutam yacha bhavyam. What I just told, that everything is, was and will be only that Purusha. Which means this, you cannot say this whole creation, Veda is not saying that this creation is a false, it's a, it's an illusion or false or not true, not real, not like that. But it is not, it is real, this whole creation. It is there. It's not mithya, it's a satya. But how is this satya? This creation cannot, live on, cannot exist without that Purusha. Okay? The Purusha becomes the entity, the being of this creation, which is having this creation in life. You will understand, like when we say this body, right? Now, when I ask you, is your body not real? Is your body false, not true? What will you say? What will you say? Is this body not real?
It's real.
It's real, right? It's true, right? You are seeing this body, living this body, in this body, doing everything with this body. How can you say this body is not real? Can you say that? But if this Atma is not in this body, will this body continue to exist? No, right? When the Atma will leave this body, then this body will die. And there will be, and it will not exist further. So this is how this whole creation is also real, just like this body. And like this body is having the Atma, which is keeping this body alive, right? And functioning and doing everything. Likewise, this whole creation is not mithya. This whole creation is real, it's satya. But it cannot exist without the Purusha. So this is what our Veda philosophy is saying. That this creation is not mithya. Don't say like that. This creation is there. It's satya. And in fact, if you think more deeply, nothing in this whole creation will ever be destroyed. If you think that this whole will be destroyed one day,
please be seated there. Don't come.
Nothing in this creation will be destroyed ever. Never. What happens? It's not destroyment. What happens is not destroyment. It is being from visible and invisible. Okay? So this creation becomes visible and things in this creation, and it becomes invisible. Even if your body dies, right? So your body dies, and you will cremate the body, or you will bury the body, whatever, and even these ashes you will be immersing in water, and you will think it's gone, it's destroyed. It's not called destroyed. It went back into the source, its source. That is the reason why we cremate. If you wonder why in Sanatana Dharma we cremate the body and not bury, so this is one of the scientific reasons that all the elements this body is made of, earth, water, fire, air, and space, has to go back in its own source. So that's why we do that. We immerse also even the ashes in water. Keeping the ashes, sometimes people put in a pot and keep it like a souvenir in the crematory or whatever. That is also not the proper thing, because it has to be immersed, and then everything is completely assimilated and went back into its origin. So nothing in this creation is ever getting destroyed, because if you think, and that has been even Western scientists, you have heard maybe of Nikola Tesla, and Nikola Tesla has also, after his research and everything, declared that everything what you see in this whole creation is nothing but energy, electricity, energy. And modern scientists they also say everything is energy, everything is electricity. So this energy, which is that, it cannot be destroyed. You cannot destroy that. So each and everything existing in this creation, whether living or non-living, sentient or non-insentient, it's all energy which cannot be destroyed. So everything goes back into the cause, its cause and then it becomes invisible only. But it's not that it is destroyed, not like that. So here, Purusha Evedagam Sarvam Yad Bhutam Yadcha Bhavyam. This whole creation, everything is a truth. It's a satya. It's not mithya. It's not false. Everything is that Purusha. And how is this Purusha? So this Martyalok, we call this Martyalok. So how is that Virat Purusha? The Martya is that Rashtra, okay, the Vyashti Purusha, okay, like this body will die one day, right? But what about the Virat Purusha? Is that also called Martya? That is not Martya. In the next line, it is said, what is Virat Purusha? Utamritatvasya shano. What is Utamritatvasya shano? Uta amrita ishano. Ishan, amrita, uta. So uta, amrita, what do you know amrita, right? Nectar. So this Virat Purusha, he is the nectar himself, he is the source of that. Which means, which is never ever going to die, which is infinite, right? So that is Amrita. And he is Ishan. He is the Lord of this whole creation. That is Ishan. So Utamritatvasya Shano and Yadanne Nati Rohati. Now Yadanne Nati Rohati. That Purusha, Arohati, okay, means climbing up, but here also it means growing. Is growing through Anna. Now, what is this Anna? In the Veda, Anna has very special meaning. There are two sides of Anna. Anna, when you say, you think of food, okay? So, like grains and so. So, what is this Anna? There are two meanings, two sides of Anna. The one is Adyate iti Anna. And the second is Adati iti Anna. So what is Adyate iti Anna and Adate iti Anna? There are difference in these two. Adyate iti Anna means that which is being eaten by us. We eat the food, right? We eat the grain. So Adyate means that which is being eaten. That is one meaning. So we eat the roti and the rice and those kinds of things. So that is Anna. And what is the other meaning of Anna? Adati iti Anna. Adati means which eats. One is that it's eaten by us. And what is it eats? Who does the Anna eat? It eats us. Anna eats us. And how does Anna eat us? Okay, I will tell you next week because it's getting time. So Anna we eat, but Anna is also that which eats us. And how it eats us, I will explain you next week. So with these words, वाणी को यही विराम देती हूँ. हरि ओम तत्सत.